Don't mind the road tonight. I actually have something I want to say. I don't know when it started, but I realized I started to do this thing where I don't let myself actually feel the things that I feel. I don't let myself admit that it does overwhelm me that I'm 35 and single. I don't let myself feel the full weight of the times that I've been hurt in my life because I don't like to give those people any sort of power over me. I don't even like to...
That's called insecurity. A lot of these DGs over 30, by the way, are, as much as they proclaim how confident they are and secure with themselves, they're not. I mean, they've got such low self-esteem. They're so still worried that, oh, I'm giving my power over to him. Confident person with healthy self-esteem doesn't think like that.
I get to myself, let alone publicly, but then I kind of forget a really important piece of the puzzle. Vulnerability and sharing these feelings is where real progress is made. As much as I want to fight it and act like it doesn't get to me, that I'm 35 and I'm single and I don't have any prospects right now, isn't going to change what I really feel. It's hard. It's...
AKA, I'm not taking accountability for anything I've done in the past. Nothing is my fault. It's always the men's fault. Right, guys? And this is pretty much the problem across the board with all of these females who are still flying solo 3 decades into their lives, right? And it's just, there's no introspection coming from them at all, right? There's no self-reflection, because a person who is introspective and is self-reflective would be able to sit there and be like, hey, you know, these are the things I did wrong in that relationship. These are the things I need to fix with myself, you know, because a person who does those things ends up fixing those things, right? I mean, even like the hardest breakups I had, you know, one was in 2000, when my chick left me for some dude because the stock market crashed. I lost everything in the dot-com bubble, and then including my ex from 2006 who left because I became too nice. I was treating her too nice. I was too blue pill, right? I could easily just deflect all responsibility onto them. But that was a thing that I never did. Even back then, I never did. I would always be like, okay, what did I do wrong here? Where did I go wrong? What could I fix? And guess what? I fixed those things, right? And I have not been dumped since. I've had great relationships ever since. I mean, it's hard to believe. It's like I've been on this 17, 18-year streak of not being dumped. It's always me having to let go of that person, right? Why? Because when I was getting dumped, I would always take a seat back and go, hey, yeah, she was a bitch. Yeah, she was a slut. Yeah, she was a cheating ass mofo, right? But where could I have done something differently, right? Maybe it wouldn't have saved the relationship. Maybe it was doomed, right? Fine. But what could I have done that could have maybe not made things so bad? That's what a normal person does. But I don't see these women taking any responsibility at all. Nothing's ever their fault. You hear her right here. She is 35 years old. Nothing is her fault. It's like talking to somebody who's gone through like 3 bankruptcies, has a 500 credit score, doesn't have, you know, 2 20s to rub together, and going, hey, why are your finances in, you know, such distress all the time? Why are you always having like money problems? You know, dude, society, man. It's the rich man. Oh, it's these corporations holding me down. Well, really? They tell you to take out those loans? They tell you to take these risks? You know, they tell you to make these poor decisions? No, it's not my fault. Never changes.
It's really hard to sit and admit that I have been hurt. It's hard to sit and admit that I have taken risk on love and it hasn't worked out. It's hard to admit to myself that it's impacted the way that I view dating. But one thing I do know that I really like about myself is the fact that I'm never going to give up trying. I'm never going to give up on myself. And even though, yes, I am 35 and single, I'm also 35 with a clean slate. 35 and no longer in a toxic, abusive relationship.
There you go. It's because I was in a toxic, abusive relationship that I'm 35 and still single. As we always say on this channel, who chose that guy? 4 words. Who chose that guy? You did, lady. You did. You can't tell me that you didn't have, beta orbiters in your friend zone. Even this chick, I'm sure she was thinner back then too. Even this chick with her boobies like jingling over here in front of us, right? It's kind of distracting, right? Even with her boobies, and I'm sure she did this on purpose. You didn't have any beta orbiters that weren't willing to be, that wouldn't have been toxic towards you? Of course you did.
35 and completely supporting myself. And even though it can be so overwhelming and sometimes embarrassing to not be where I thought I was going to be, at least I'm not where I was.
Well, as I say, when you don't have introspection, when you don't fix the problem at its core, history is doomed to repeat itself. So I will not be surprised this chick's being like 45 years old, still finding toxic relationships. Would not be surprised at all. Let's move on to the next clip. Here we go.
I feel like weekends when you're single in your 30s are just weird.
Yeah, they're weird because all of your friends are married and have kids and responsibilities, and they can't go to the clubs with you anymore, can they?
I am admittedly terrible at making plans. A good chunk of my friends are married or in serious relationships,
There you go.
and a lot of my really close friends have left the city. I'm an introvert, so in actuality, I don't actually want to do much with my weekends, but I miss having someone to do nothing with.
AKA a boyfriend. Yeah. And this will become a common theme too as these ladies get older is, these guys will not want to hang out with you and just do nothing like in your 20s when you were still young and fertile. Back then, I can even think of my girlfriends in my, that I had in my 20s. I just like to do nothing with them. It was fun. But once we got into our 30s, the gap started to widen where your guy and your value starts to go up and hers starts to go down if you're the same age. And you don't want to just do nothing with her. And then if you start meeting these girls on the dating apps that are your age, yeah, there's not really any transactional value for you, with the exception of just boinking them, right? And that's pretty much what all dudes see these girls for is just, a roll in the hay, right? And these women don't like that. It's like, oh, they don't want to just do nothing with me anymore. They just want to come over after midnight for like an hour and then leave. Get used to it.
There is a lot I miss about being in a relationship, but just having someone to do nothing with is so underrated, and I feel like no one talks about that.
Also, too, because once you hit in your 30s, you start to have responsibility, especially as a guy, and you just want to do other things. You want to pursue, your career. That's what happened to me in my 30s. Is I didn't want to hang out with my girlfriends all day anymore and be in these codependent relationships where I wait for you before I eat. Right? We're going to dinner night. I'm going to wait for you to get home. No, you just do your own thing, and we'll get together when we get together. Right? It just your career becomes more important. As mine did. I wanted to all I wanted to do at that point was make money. I didn't want to spend all day doing nothing with these chicks just for them to drop you for some other dude. Okay, last one.
This one's for the single ladies, and I want to talk about this because I keep seeing videos about entering this soft feminine side, harnessing your femininity in order to find a high value man. And while I agree with that wholeheartedly,
Good.
I'm just saying, why can't we spread a message about just accepting the fact that it's okay to be single, especially when you're in your 20s?
Little PSA for all you ladies in your 20s, don't take advice from single women in their 30s. Okay, that is the best advice you'll ever get, is to not take advice from single women in their 30s. Because if you listen to single women in their 30s, guess what? You will be single in your 30s, and you will be doing these videos as she is on her social media, on her IG or TikTok, talking about how it's okay to be single in your 20s because misery loves company. These women don't care about you. Secretly, you're all trying to sabotage each other, whether consciously or subconsciously.
You are truly at your most content and peace when you are alone. And I think people need to learn how to feel.
Don't worry. If you're still single in your 30s, ladies, there is a high chance you are going to remain single. I'm talking probably at least around 80% that you are going to remain single for the rest of your life. So all of this alone time that she is praising here, you're going to have plenty of it. Okay? You're going to have plenty of it. You're going to have, if you live to 90, you're going to have about 70 years of alone time. So just ask the women who are her age on the dating apps, if not older, if they're worried about their alone time. Nope. These women are desperate to find somebody to spend their alone time with because they are lonely.
And live a life where they can do things by themselves in order to find happiness in someone else. But right now, in my 20s, I think it's okay to be a little selfish and to actually take this time to lay the foundation of you so that the healthy you can accept a healthy relationship with someone else.
I implore you. She's saying she's in her 20s. I'm gonna say, just looking at her, she's edging towards. She's probably about a year away from 30 over here. But I would not listen to her or take advice if you're somebody in your 20s. You do not want to worry about your alone time or taking your girls' trips or anything like that. I told you, as a female in your 20s, your primary focus should be finding the guy. Okay? Finding the guy. It's like an NFL running back who is fresh out of college. His priority is getting the biggest contract possible, because if he waits, he's not going to have that opportunity in his 30s, right? You're going to lose that opportunity, just as these females do. Lights keep going off. But as always, gentlemen, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you would like to share, please drop them in the comments below. And as always, this is M from the 33 Secrets signing out. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash that subscribe button, and smash that notification bell as well for me. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm, who is not promoting my stuff anymore. Yeah, they're not promoting my stuff along with other content creators who create content that can actually help men. No, they don't want to promote us. So it helps me out a ton if you smash all those buttons for me. And if you really want to support my work, best way to do that is just jumping into 7 months of mastery, son. Right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me, so take advantage of it. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.